There's one weed I don't run into very often, but it's a tough one when I do see it, and that weed is called goosegrass. I'm going to show you goosegrass. I'm going to show you the best product I know to control goosegrass in the lawn. But I don't want to just test that product just on goosegrass. I want to test it on some of these other weeds I'm seeing in the yard, because I want to know, is this product more versatile than just a goosegrass killer? I think it's good on goosegrass, but I want to try it on some other products. So let me show you the goosegrass, show you the other weeds. We're going to try it out. I'm going to introduce you to the product. We're going to spray it and we're going to see how well it works on this video. Okay, here it is, goosegrass, and it got these huge bare spots in the yard. And goosegrass typically likes to grow in compacted soil, and you see it's taking advantage of these bare spots. So this is what goosegrass looks like right here. Now, it'll put up a giant seed head. This has been mowed recently. But one of the things about goosegrass, some weeds, you kind of mow the grass and it'll go away because the lawnmower cuts it off. Goosegrass can grow so low to the ground that it's almost impossible to cut it low enough to get rid of the goosegrass. And in the summertime, it starts growing like a monster. Now, this is some mature goosegrass in the summertime. So I don't know if it's going to kill it totally. It'd be easier if it was a younger stage of its life, but we're going to give it the best opportunity we can. I've got the flag here marking some goosegrass. We've got a lot. We'll be able to easily tell what's been sprayed and what hasn't been sprayed. But I don't want to just spray the goosegrass. I want to spray this right here. I think this is some type of kyllinga, maybe a false green kyllinga. I think it's the most common in my area. So I want to spray that. I think it'll get some decent results on that. Also got some spurge mixed in here. Very common summer weed, so I want to spray that. And then there's one other weed over here I want to show you. You see my tracks in the dew this morning out here on a slightly cooler than normal morning, so we got a lot of dew here in the summertime. But as I move over this way, you see I've got another flag out, and I've got lespedeza. And it's a little bit tougher to kill, in my opinion, than spurge sometimes. And so we're going to try the product on it as well. Let me introduce you to the product. So here it is. This is called Dismiss NXT. And when you see a product that has Dismiss on it, like I've got regular Dismiss, I've got, I think there's a Dismiss South, I've got Blindside, which has Dismiss in it. The active ingredient in the Dismiss products, you see their active ingredient is that sulfentrazone. So this has sulfentrazone, which is in Dismiss, but it also has carfentrazone, which I believe is in some of the Speed Zone products. It's going to help us with some of the broadleaf weeds, and it's going to give us some fast results. So this combination should do pretty well on a lot of different weeds, some grassy weeds, some broadleaf weeds, and some sedges. So we're going to try it out on all those three categories today with these weeds that we've selected. I've actually already got this mixed up. Now I'm mixing up in a little 1 gallon handheld sprayer. And the rate here, you can see that line. I believe the rate is 0.35 ounces per 1,000 square feet, which I equate to 1 gallon of water. Now, I don't understand why it goes to 0.34 instead of 0.35, but on my rate chart, I've got 0.35. Now, that's the high rate. Now, you got to be a little careful spraying the Dismiss products in hot weather. You can get a little turf burn. That's something we can watch in this video to see if we get a little damage to the turf or not. And this is the type of product that I'm not going to go out there and just blanket my whole yard with. It's going to be too expensive for that. But when you're just spot treating weeds, it's not that expensive. Now, I know some people are going to get a little sticker shock. This bottle may cost close to $200. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. But for those that are in the lawn care profession, we're looking at the cost per application oftentimes, and not just the cost of the bottle. And I would encourage you to do that the same. You might could go buy something for $25 off the shelf of the big box store and use it one time on your yard, and that just costs you $25 to spray something that may or may not work very well. So oftentimes people want to look and say, well, that was a lot cheaper than this, you know, where this actually is going to go a lot further. So anyway, just think about it that way instead of just always looking at the price on the bottle. I will say also I've got surfactant mixed in with the spray, which is going to help it be more effective. I've got it mixed up. Let's get to spraying. I've got the sun peeking over the horizon here, so let's get this sprayed. I'm going to spray the goosegrass. Again, some of it we're not going to spray, so we'll see the difference. There's the kyllinga in here. There's some spurs. There's yellow wood sorrel. Let's just spray all up. Then we'll move over and spray the lespedeza. If you want to make fun of this sprayer, you can. This is not my #1 go-to sprayer, for sure. All right, got this second patch over here with some kyllinga, spurge, stuff like that. All right, and lastly, we're going to spray this lespedeza here. We'll give this some time and check back on the results and make some conclusions at the end of the video. It's been 3 days since we sprayed the goosegrass. I want to show you what it looks like. We'll look at some goosegrass that was not sprayed, show you how that looks, and then we'll show you the ones that we sprayed with the Dismiss NXT as well as the other weeds. All right, here's some that has not been sprayed. You see still green. The grass was cut as we saw in the last video. And you can see over here, not sprayed and starting to grow back and be big and nasty. And then versus the ones that have been sprayed, the initial thing you see is they're just turning brown. And I can still see it, maybe just a little bit of damaged Bermuda, but overall the Bermuda looks fine. So I'm not too worried about that. So it's definitely having an effect on it. Let's see if we can find another weed. I don't know what weed that was, but it definitely had an effect on it. There's a little bit of spurge maybe down in there. You can see the kyllinga working on it as well. So we're getting that initial burn down effect here, but we want to give it a little bit more time and see. Oh, there was the yellow wood sorrel too, the oxalis. And if we look over here at our second plot, we had a lot more kyllinga. See there, and some spurge and different little broadleaf weeds. So, and you can compare that with spurge that has not been sprayed and kyllinga that's not been sprayed. There's the unsprayed lespedeza, and here's the sprayed lespedeza. It may be a little bit slow to die on in, and it may not be a good product for lespedeza. I don't know. Not a lot going on after 3 days. So getting some quick results. Let's give it a little bit more time and we'll check back and see what's going on. It's been about 5 days on the Dismiss NXT application, and I don't normally give updates 2 days after the first update, but I wanted to show you how rapidly the progress or digress or however you want to say it, it's happened in the last 2 days. And we'll probably do one more checkup after this, but you can see what's happening. I think this is what happens sometimes. You get the initial burn down on the Dismiss NXT. So like on this goosegrass, you can see just really turning it brown. And the kyllinga there doing great things on the kyllinga. But what I'm concerned is going to happen is I'm afraid if it doesn't just kill it on this initial burn down, which it does sometimes, especially if it's smaller, but on a really large goosegrass like this, I'm afraid it wasn't the knockout blow. So I think you have to either go with a second application or it's going to start bouncing back. These few green leaves are going to start looking healthier and healthier, and it's going to actually recover. Now, you slowed it down a lot and did a lot of good things as far as suppressing the weed, and you can come in with a second application. But let's give it a little more time, and we're going to just see, does it indeed start to recover. But pretty amazing results after just a few days, 5 days or so. The spurge, turning it brown also. Let's see what else. There's a good example of the kyllinga. I mean, just burn it up. And you can see some Bermuda grass in there that's still green. There's not a lot of Bermuda in here, but it's still green. And then more examples of kyllinga. Hard to get much better results than that, just to be honest with you. And then whatever broadleaf weed that was is not doing so well either. So really good results as far as that goes. There was a yellow wood sorrel in here, oxalis. I'm thinking, I don't remember where it was, but I think it is not doing too well. And remember before, we weren't getting very good results on the lespedeza. Let's check on that one. All right, lespedeza. I can see a little bit more going on here. Still nothing great, but it's going to be slower. So anyway, let's do this. Let's check that one more time. See if the goosegrass starts to recover. See if the lespedeza maybe starts to look a little worse. and we'll draw our final conclusions. All right, it's been about 12 days since we sprayed the Dismiss NXT. Let's see what the final results say. Well, one thing that was positive is the goosegrass looks like it did actually continue to deteriorate. Some of them look really bad. This one's got just a smidgen of green left. Not sure if it'll die or not, but I mean, excellent results on goosegrass with Dismiss NXT. I'll be honest, I don't know of a better product to spray on it. Not only that, look at the kyllinga. I mean, so ugly as mama wouldn't recognize it. I mean, what else can you ask for but that? I mean, look at that. How much better results can you get? And over here as well, and this is what I'm beginning learning, again, look at the kyllinga. Just obliterated kyllinga, but not exactly unbelievable results on spurge. Kind of not that great on it, to be honest with you. But if you got goosegrass or kyllinga, I mean, Dismiss NXT is just unbelievable. Let's check on the lespedeza. The lespedeza and the spurge, just to be honest with you, not that great, okay? And that's okay. I just wanted to spray it and see what would happen. And here's our results. I mean, it did a little bit, but just not great. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful in showing you what Dismiss NXT is good for, what it's not that good for. If you want to get in weed control and fertilization like me, you can go to lawncarelife.com. That's where you'll find the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy, some other resources. Also, it's where you'll find a link to the 2024 Lawn Care Life Conference. There's a lot of information there. $197 includes all your meals, Friday night, and all-day Saturday event. We're looking forward to it, February 23rd, 24th of 2024. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.